We are just underneath the dining room floor. This is the bearer that was identified previously. There's the screwdriver mark is made. There is less than 10 bore holes over a metre, travelling down the bearer further. Bore free as far as I can see. No other borer to any of the floor joists in the area, so reasonably isolated. Just going to give that a little tap. Certainly it appears to me that this borer is historic, possibly been treated. However, further treatment is advised. So we are under the kitchen, west facing wall. The perimeter bearer here is got a bit of borer in it, a little bit of dry rot as well. It's very dry, no evidence of any weather ingress, it's just borer activity. The joists, floor joists, are completely unaffected, as is the timber flooring directly above. So I will be showing this picture to either an engineer or Wellington Pest Control. I've got a couple of options for repair, so we'll see how that goes. So we're still underneath the kitchen. That bearer up there is the one that needs some attention. Bearer that runs through the centre of the kitchen, a few borer exit holes, but for the most part that bearer is solid and sound. Pest control or borer treatment will be more than adequate treatment for that. Simply put, the borer treatment preserves the timber in its current state. Periodic retreating will be all that's required to encourage longevity. So it does appear to be isolated to bits and pieces, like there's only borer, from what I can see, just to the left of that pile. This bearer, the borer concentration is over about 3 foot to the right of that pile. And then behind me, like I said earlier, there's about 10 or 12 exit holes here, so we've got an isolated borer infestation. Borer treatment first, and we'll decide on how we take care of that perimeter bearer. Underneath the dining room there has been some excavation. Hole in the ground is about 250mm deep. It does not go below the concreted area of the pile. I don't believe there's been any undermining or anything going on, but better be safe than sorry, and it's been recommended that this hole just be filled up and compacted. That could be done with dirt, pea metal, gravel, pretty much whatever really. So yeah, compacted fill. That said, I don't believe that there's been any undermining or any structural integrity has been weakened, but it just sounds like that's what's going to need to be done. I've now crawled to the area directly beneath the ground floor toilet area, which is previously identified in a builder's report as to having elevated moisture readings, and further investigation was unable to be undertaken because of floor insulation being in place. We've measured back from the toilet bowl, removed all the insulation in the area, and there is a little bit of quite possibly historic staining from pre-renovation times. There's no unusual moisture readings, and the timber flooring and subframe right through this area is in as new condition. Some, like I say, some historic moisture staining only. There's a little bit of other historic moisture staining. We've waved the moisture meter over a couple of these areas. There's another one. None of these moisture stains, or certainly none of these moisture stains, have resulted in any related decay to either flooring, joists or bearers. Same at the perimeter, a little bit of moisture staining too, but it's actually in quite remarkable condition. Absolutely no sign of any borer activity over this side of the house at all. However, it was all built at the same stage. It's only over there that we have a little gap through to underneath the kitchen area. But yeah, I can't see any borer anywhere. Yeah. It is quite possible that some of the moisture staining that we're seeing both behind me and elsewhere has been caused simply by the sweating, condensation of the copper pipes. No concerns. Underneath the master bedroom ensuite, there's a very, very slow leak at a duct secure valve join. If you focus on the very middle of the screen, you'll see that there's a droplet of water that's probably going to drip in about 10 seconds time. It probably just needs the water turning off, and that rethreaded thread tape or similar type of solution. It's not going to be a very costly or time consuming job. So there's a direct fix deck scenario directly to the exterior of this wall, underneath the master bedroom and attached ensuite. This old cement sheet cladding here was quite possibly once the pre-deck would have been the base cladding. The timber framing, where it's in contact with the dirt, is decayed. This cement sheet framing and attached timber essentially is performing no function now that the deck is in place. Replacing that timber and cement sheet would be I've got to just be honest with you, I'd say it's just a waste of a cement sheet and 2 pieces of timber. It is rotten because of its contact with the dirt, but like I said, this piece of base cladding here, and often referred to as sacrificial cladding, is there's no requirement for that to be replaced. It's not performing any function. The direct fixed deck beyond has not resulted in any weather ingress or related issues to the connected timber. I would be recommending that simply the junction from the from the deck to the weatherboard cladding on the exterior just be kept clean and clear of composting leaves. We'll check that out from the outside. Further information about the deck appears to have been constructed over the top of an older deck boundary joist and bearer situation. This piece of timber here is the original deck perimeter joist or ribbon plate. That's fixed directly into H5 treated timber piles. So I guess the risk is trapped water, I suppose, at the weatherboard to deck junction directly above. This trapped water is not going to cause any rot or decay to anything else apart from possibly that bottom weatherboard. It wasn't until 2004 that it was compulsory to construct a deck with a 12mm clearance from the cladding. There is still no legal requirement to bring your deck up to scratch, and from what we can see here, there has been no there's been no ill effects due to the way that this deck has been constructed. Bearing in mind too that this is the second deck constructed over the same boundary joist, so there's possibly been decks built here for, I don't know, 20 plus years. Dirt has been cleared away from the very far corner bracing pile, or anchor pile. There's certainly been no undermining there. 150 mils of dirt have been cleared away from the side down to a big concrete footing. The void is being backfilled regardless, but there's been nothing funky going on over in that corner. There has been, by the look of it, if you look at the state of the ground, it's been wet under here and dry, but the treated timber piles, perimeter foundations, still all in very good condition. Certainly no need for any further investigation here.